Would it be a bad assumption to assume that you might be French?
Excuse me, teacher?
Where are you from, Ruth?
Ecuador.
Sorry?
Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Yes.
Okay, that looks like it's French. No, I guess that could be Spanish there too.
Yes.
Looks very similar to French. La passion pour que assez
Do you know, teacher?
entendre. Hmm? Oh yeah,
Do you
los.
know?
That's not French.
Do you know Ecuador?
Yes, I do. It's near the equator. Actually, it's on the equator.
Oh. What city do you have visited?
I haven't visited any cities in South America or Central America.
Okay.
I've been to Europe, New Zealand, Asia, but not South America, not yet. Hi, Francis.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I have a new microphone.
Excellent, that's terrific.
Okay, do you hear me good?
Not clearly. I don't know why, because you've got a new microphone, right?
Yes.
It's almost as though you're speaking far away.
Understood.
I'm not sure why that would be. So how is your week so far?
No bad. Just resting in my house. Nothing special, but maybe this weekend I would like to go to the beach because it's summertime.
Yeah, I enjoy going to the beach too, although I haven't been this year yet. I don't know. I think I'll take it easy this weekend. I'm still recovering, so maybe next weekend or the week after, who knows? There's so many beaches to go to.
I think I heard you are sick, no? No.
No, I wasn't sick. I had surgery.
Oh, wow.
So
Correct.
I would rather be sick. So, but I'm back now. I'm not teaching as many classes as before because I still need to get better. I'm doing 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow, but I should probably only be doing 1 class until I'm fully better. Well, guys, tonight's class is all about pronunciation. What I like to do is I like to focus on something called word pairs to get us started. It's where we focus on words that have a single syllable. And if we look at both words, it's usually the vowel that's different. Like these 2 words here, we have lit, light. Now, essentially, it's the same sound, only we've got an I, a short I, or a long I. Lit. This word here is lit. Now, instead of a short I, if we said a long I, it would be light. Right? That's the only difference there. So what we'll do is we'll take turns going through word pairs, and it'll help me identify any sounds that you're having trouble with. So Ruth, could you please say these 2 words, lit and light?
Lit, light.
Perfect, excellent. And Francis?
Lit, light.
Good. Okay, next word pair.
What's mean lit, teacher?
Lit. Well, imagine you've got some wood and you want to start a fire, right? You would say he lit the fire.
Like prepare, like make.
No, to light is actually to ignite, to start the flame.
Okay.
Okay, so it's actually the flame. It's to start the flame. To make a fire, you might have to get wood, chop wood, put it in place, get some kindling, some other stuff, some paper. That's all making a fire, but to light a fire, you
Okay,
need to
teacher.
lit. Okay, read and read. Ruth, read, read.
Read, read.
Thank you. Hubert or Hubert. Hello, where are you from, Hubert? Hubert? Okay, Francis, read and read.
Read and read.
Thank you. Camilla, read and read. Camilla? Okay, Wilson, read and read.
Read
Okay.
and read.
Thank you. A little slower, please. Read, read.
Read, read.
Thank you. Ruth, sing, sang. Sing, sang.
Sing, sang.
Very good. All right. Hubert, are you there?
Yes, can you hear?
No, you're very quiet, sir. I would adjust your volume because I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Still too quiet, sir. I need you to raise your volume or I won't be able to help you too well.
Okay, I will try.
Okay. Francis, sing, sang.
Sing, sound.
Sing.
Sing, sound.
Good, thank you. Camilla.
Sing, sang.
Sing, sang.
Sing, sang.
Thank you. Wilson.
Sing, sang.
Thank you. Wilson, this word pair, bed, bad. Bed, bad.
Bad, bad.
Excellent. Ruth.
Bad, bad.
Thank you. Hubert.
Can you hear me now?
Much better, yes.
Okay, bad, bad. Bad,
Excellent.
bad.
Francis.
Bad, bad.
Thank you. And Camilla.
Bad, bad.
Thank you. All right. Wilson, soot, suit.
Can you repeat, please?
Soot, suit.
Suit, suit,
Soot, suit.
suit, suit.
Excellent. Ruth.
Suit, suit.
Thank you. Hubert.
Suit, suit.
Soot,
Suit,
Suit.
suit. Francis. Soot, suit.
Suit, suit.
Again, please.
Suit, suit.
Soot.
Suit, suit.
Okay. Camilla.
Teacher, I cannot tell the difference between those two sounds.
All right. Well, take a look at my lips. Soot,
Suit,
suit.
suit.
So we have soot. Oh, short O.
Yeah.
Suit, right?
Suit.
Longer, right?
Okay. Suit. Suit.
Suit. Think of it this way. Imagine you see something gross, you go, ooh, yuck, ooh.
Suit.
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 Better. Soot.
Dot.
Soot.
Dot.
Okay, look at my lips. I'll go a little closer. Soot.
Dot.
Better. Suit.
Suit.
Much better.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a little break now. Well, not really a break. We're going to try something different. If you look in the group chat here, I've just pasted what we call a tongue twister. I'll say it first, and then we'll each take turns. What I recommend, have yourself on mute and read along as other students practice, so you're practicing more than just once. Here we go. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Oh, it's funny, I missed the last bit there. Let me just copy that. See, I've done this enough times, I just remembered it. All right, so let's go ahead with Wilson. Go ahead, please.
But Peter Packard, I don't. But the problem is I don't see the test or the.
There's no test. Could you just read the tongue twister, please?
What is the? Okay. Yeah. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick up a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter picked?
Okay, Peter Piper.
Peter Piper.
Okay.
Okay.
Peck.
Pack.
Picked.
Peck.
Picked.
Picked.
Excellent. All right, I have opened up Google Drive for those of you that want to follow along in there. Thank you very much, Wilson. Ruth, could you please go ahead and read that tongue twister?
Peter Piper. Piper is teacher?
Piper, that's correct.
Pickett? I don't remember the pronouncing that word.
Don't worry. What will happen is I'm going to highlight each word that you don't enunciate correctly, and then we'll practice them afterwards, okay?
Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter picked?
Okay, not bad. So, picked.
Picked.
Yep, it's an ed suffix. It has three sounds. In this case, because it has a K, P-I-C-K, we pronounce it with a T sound. So, picked.
Picked.
Okay, so well
Yeah.
done. That was really the only problem you had there.
Okay.
All right, Hubert, you're back with us. Could you please go ahead and read the tongue twister, please? Hubert? All right, well, I've lost you. Francis, could you read the tongue twister, please? Francis, you're on mute. I can't hear you. All right, so we're back to Daniel. Daniel, hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
I'm glad to hear you.
Yeah, it's good to. I saw your name and going like, I know that name.
I know that name, yeah. I know that face too.
Well, welcome, sir. It's good to
I
have
know
you here.
your face.
Well, we're doing pronunciation. Would you like to do a tongue twister with us?
I'm gonna try.
Okay,
Well,
I pasted it in the group chat, but I also do keep a copy in Google Drive, so you follow along wherever you like to.
in American, in British, or in Canadian? In
You
which
can do whichever you like.
I'm gonna do it in Uruguayan.
Okay?
Well, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Peter Piper.
Peter Piper picked.
Yeah, very good. Very well done.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Camilla. Camilla, it's your turn.
Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, what is the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Excellent. Thank you. All right, before
Okay.
we do the next tongue twister, I'm going to practice some other word pairs, okay? Poor Hubert, he seems to be having trouble tonight. Okay, the next word pair is would, could. Would, could. Ruth.
Would, could.
Would, could.
Would, could.
Perfect, bang on. Hi, Hyde, could you say would and could, please?
Hello. What could?
Would,
Would, could. Would,
better.
could.
Francis. Okay, Francis, you're still on mute. I can't hear you. Daniel, would, could.
Would, could.
Excellent. Camilla.
Would, could.
Thank you. Excellent. All right. Ruth. Look, lock. Look, lock.
Look, luck.
Lock.
Luck.
Much better. Hide.
Look, luck.
Good. Excellent. Francis.
Look like.
Excellent. Daniel.
Look like.
Excellent. Camilla.
Look, like.
Good. Look.
Look, like.
Okay, so a little shorter on the O. Look.
Which one?
Look.
I am a little bit confused because I cannot distinguish which one is the longest sound.
Well, they're both long, but they're different vowels. So we have look, lock. Watch my lips. Look, lock. But you're going a little too long on look.
Look, lock.
Look, lock.
Look, lock.
Better. Thank you.
Okay.
Dog, Doug. Or sorry, Doug, dog. Ruth.
Duck, dog.
Doug, dog.
Duck, dog.
Thank you. Hide.
Duck, dog.
Doug, dog.
Duck, dog.
Excellent. Francis.
Duck, dog.
Thank you. Daniel.
Duck, dog.
Thank you.
What's the
Camilla.
meaning of duck? It's a verb.
Well, there's two. Actually, Doug is the name of a person, but in this case, Doug, right, is the past participle of dig. The dog dug a hole. Or who dug this hole?
Yes, it's a verb.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the parts of speech here. I'm just worried, or not worried. I'm trying to focus on the sound, so don't worry about that. There's no secret plan here.
Oh yes, I understand.
All right, now I forgot whose turn it is.
There's not conspiration.
That's too bad. I love conspiracies.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to go on to the next word pair. Chuck, stuck. Ruth.
Chuck, stuck.
Hide.
Chuck, stuck.
Excellent. Francis.
Chuck, stuck.
Chuck.
Chuck. Chuck, stuck.
Good. Daniel.
Chuck, stuck.
Excellent. Camilla.
Chuck, stuck.
Chuck, stuck.
Chuck, stuck.
Okay, good. All right, so we have time for another tongue twister. I know these are Hyde's favorite. Actually, Hyde hates these, but they're good. All right, so let me start by reading it. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So in there we have different sounds. We have the wood that we were practicing earlier. Okay. We have the chuck and a few other sounds. So let's go ahead and practice. Ruth, as fast as you can, but as accurate as you can.
Okay. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Thank you. Well done. Hyde, are you ready?
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Thank you. Francis, it's your turn.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Excellent. Daniel.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Thank you. Excellent. Camilla.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could. A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he would. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
I'm sorry. A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Excellent. Now, if you guys do have any trouble with some of these, and we'll of course practice, copy them down and practice them later. Tongue twisters are really what we call exercises for our mouth. The reason why you're here is because English is not your native language, And while you can speak very well in Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, well, that's because you grew up with the language. As you learn a new language, there's new ways of moving your mouth and your tongue that you have to practice, and that's one of the things that tongue twisters do. They focus on certain sounds, as do the word pairs. Speaking of word pairs, let's go back to a few word pairs and keep practicing, and then we'll do another tongue twister later. And actually, I'm curious though, before we get into this word pair, Daniel, because it's been a long time, what have you been doing in the last couple of years?
Oh, a lot of things.
I bet.
Yeah.
Hi, do you remember Daniel?
Mm.
Who are you talking with?
Hyde, she's in a lot of my classes too. You might remember a Hyde,
Yes,
Daniel.
but Hyde, she has been on Colingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Well, I remember Hyde because of the communities, because I think she speaks French also. She also speaks French, no?
Parlez-vous français, Hyde?
Un petit peu.
Ah, petit peu.
Or
Moi aussi.
she's from Morocco or Algeria. I don't know where she's from, but I've been in a community of Berlin with her some
Well, I've been with Verbling for about 4 months now.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun here teaching, and I enjoy doing it. So I'm glad you found us, Daniel. And Camilla, where are you from, Camilla?
I am from the Dominican Republic.
Ah, beautiful. You have nice weather all year round.
Yeah, our weather is awesome. This is a tropical country, and the temperature here is always warm, so it's a wonderful place to live.
No, it's always hot there, not warm.
Hot.
Yes.
And what would be the difference?
When it's really hot, you don't play football and other crazy sports. You just relax or go swimming.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm from a different country where it's much cooler than where you live. You probably have a lot of my country folks come down and visit your warm country.
Oh, yeah. There are a lot of tourists coming from the United States, Europe, and Canada. And they really enjoy our weather. They feel comfortable here.
Yeah, I don't enjoy our weather, but that's my problem.
Which one don't you enjoy? Yours
Canada.
or mine?
No, Canada's too hot and too cold.
Maybe you should come to the Dominican Republic.
One day I will.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you. Well, and let's see here. Francis, remind us where you're from. Okay, Francis isn't there. And Ruth, you're from Ecuador, correct?
Yes, I'm here.
Have you lived in Ecuador your whole life?
Teacher. Hello.
Yes?
Yes, teacher. Yes, I lived here all my life.
Would you say it's one of the best countries in the world to live?
Everybody say that.
Yeah, most people do say that. It's true. Why do you like Ecuador so much?
Because here we can find all weather, the all types of weather that you need. You can find the cold, you can find the sun, the warm weather. You can find the fresh weather. I don't know yet if it's correct to say
Does
fresh.
it ever get to be minus 25?
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
You can go to the beach. You can go to the Sierra region. You can go to the Galapagos. You can go to the forest.
I just didn't think it got that cold there, being on the equator. You must have some tall mountains.
Yeah.
Wow, because we get that cold here in the winter, but most places down south it doesn't get that cold unless you got a lot of tall mountains. But well, excellent. Let's get back to word pairs now. So Ruth, the next word pair we're going to practice is zoo and sue. Notice the difference. Zoo, sue.
Zoo. Sue.
Excellent. Hide. Zoo, sue.
Zoo, Sue.
Excellent. Francis.
Zoo, Sue, Sue.
Zoo.
Zoo, Sue, Sue.
Good. Daniel.
Zoo, Sue.
Excellent. Camilla.
Zoo, Sue.
Excellent. I thought you guys would have more trouble with that. You nailed it. So I'm going to give you a tough one now. I could whistle this one, but I won't. Whistle, thistle. Ruth. Whistle, thistle.
Whistle. Thistle.
Excellent. Wow. You're nailing it. Hide. Whistle, thistle.
Whistle, Thistle.
Awesome. All right. Francis. Whistle, thistle.
Whistle, Thistle.
One more time.
Whistle, Thistle.
Excellent.
Thistle,
Daniel.
Yes, it's whistle, thistle.
Excellent. Camilla.
Whistle, thistle.
Excellent. Thug, hug. Thug, hug. Ruth.
Thug. Hug.
Brilliant. Hide.
Thug, Hug.
Excellent. Francis.
Duck, Hug.
Excellent. Daniel.
Yes, thug, hug.
Excellent. Camilla.
Thug,
Thug, hug.
Oh, you guys are nailing it. Thigh, high. Thigh, high. Ruth.
Thigh. High.
Hide.
Thigh, High.
Francis.
Thigh, high.
Excellent. Wow, you guys are nailing it again. Daniel.
yes. Thigh, high. No, but it's thigh.
Yes.
Thigh, high.
Excellent. Well done. Camilla.
Side, high.
Thigh.
Side, high.
Thank you.
Teacher, what is side?
The top of your leg.
Of my leg?
Yeah, the top of your leg, the inside would be your thigh.
Side. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good word to know because when we're also talking about chicken, people might say, do you want the breast? Do you want the thigh? So the thigh is part of the leg. It's the upper part inside. Okay, next one.
Inside the leg.
Okay, thicket 13. Thicket 13. Ruth.
Thicket. 13.
Man, you guys are nailing it. I'm trying to get more and more difficult because I've got something nasty ready for you guys here. It's going to be horrible. But you guys, I think, are ready for it. Hide. Thicket 13.
Thicket, 13.
Thank you, Francis.
Thicket, 13.
Thank you, Daniel.
thicket 13.
Oh, man, Camilla.
Thicket 13.
You guys are brilliant. All right, so since you're doing very, very well, I've decided to kick this up to more at an advanced level because you're doing really well. So I have a new tongue twister now, and I'll read it first. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not meant to. It's more to get you practicing certain sounds. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning. Fun, huh? What do you guys think? Don't worry. Now I made it sound a little more difficult because I didn't really take a breath of air. But you guys do it in a cadence that makes you feel relaxed, okay? Ruth, go ahead and start us off.
Okay. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3 thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning.
Thought.
Thought.
Although.
Although.
Threatening.
Threatening.
30-acre.
30-acre.
Theatrically.
Theatrically.
Excellent. Well done. All right, Hyde, you are next, please.
Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thought of Matthew the Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning.
Excellent. Theatrically.
Theatrically.
Well done, Hyde. Francis, are you ready?
Yes. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and 50 thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theatrical it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 60-year-old thought of the morning.
That.
That morning.
That was the only word you had a remote difficulty with. Very well done. Hi, Daniel.
Yes.
Are you ready to impress us?
To say something in a 30-acre. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug. Thug is? Or Thug? Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning.
All right, through.
It's for I split all the screen.
All right, say through.
Through.
Thug.
Thug.
Threatening.
Threatening.
Excellent, well done, sir.
Okay.
Camilla, it's your turn.
Okay. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D. Thoughts of Matthew the thought, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his side that the 30-year-old dog thought of that morning.
Well done. Thug.
Dog.
Excellent. All right, we've got about 20 minutes left. Instead of introducing some more sounds and tongue twisters, we've got 3 tongue twisters right here. Now, let's go back to our analogy of exercising. Quite often when we exercise, we start off slow, and then we start to go a little faster, and we do more. So what I want us to do now is I want us to go back over the tongue twisters, but I want us to go a little faster. Now as I go to each one of you, I want you to choose which one you want to say, and then you will get to say that one, but I want you to go faster, okay? So we have Peter Piper as the first one, the woodchuck as the second one, and Matthew the Thug as the third one. Ruth, which one would you like to practice again?
The last one.
All right, go ahead, please.
Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thunder threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theoretically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning.
Excellent. Thug.
Thug.
All right, what I'm going to do, just to give you guys a bit of a baseline, sorry, I'm still getting over the surgery there, guys. I'll go over it and I'll do it faster. I won't go super fast though, so you can at least hear what it sounds like for a native speaker to go faster. So here we go with the first one. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So a lot of it is right? Yeah. With the vowel following it like P, pi, pe. Short I, long I, short E, long E. That's a lot of what we're getting there. The next one, the woodchuck, similar sounds. We got a woo, k, with a D and a K, a lot of hard consonants following. Here we go. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. It is possible to go faster, but let's not go too fast. Now the last one, this is the most complex. It uses a lot of longer words, multisyllabic words. We've got the TH sound, the T sound, both voiced and voiceless. Let's hear this one fast. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered the threatening 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug. Although theatrically it was one of the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning. And this one's long too. Hyde, which one would you like to go? Which one would you like to say?
Peter Piper.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, whereas the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Actually, well done, Hyde. That's probably the fastest I've heard you say in a long time, and you did well. Guys, don't be embarrassed if you make a few mistakes. Even I, if I go fast, will make mistakes too, right? Remember, these are exercises for our mouth. Francis, which one would you like to say?
That Peter Piper, because I didn't read when I say my tongue.
All right, go ahead, please.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, was the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Picked. Piper.
Piper
Pack.
Piper
Pack.
peck.
Excellent. Daniel, which one, sir?
Would Peter Pack one? Peter Piper pick a bag of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a bag of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper pick a bag of pickled peppers, where's the bag of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Well done, sir. Thank you. Camilla, which one would you like to do?
The second one.
All right, the woodchuck. Go ahead, please.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, a woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Well done. All right, now for the final round, we're going to go even faster. Now, I'm going to say them, and I'm going to go as fast as I can. Well, maybe not that fast, but I'll go really fast. And then I want you to challenge yourselves when it's your turn to go as fast as you can. And where you will make mistakes, and where you make mistakes, we'll focus on those areas, okay? So here we go, me doing Peter Piper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? You see, even I have trouble. You're going to go fast, you're going to trip over. Now for the second one. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I have been doing that one since a child, so that's probably why I didn't make a mistake there. All right, now for the third one. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning. That was a lot harder for me. And I couldn't go as fast. There's so much going on in that one. Okay, Ruth, which one do you want to try?
Peter.
Peter Piper. Okay, now go as fast as you can. I do expect you to make mistakes, but I'm curious to see where they will be, okay? Go ahead, please.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Peter Piper picked. You did really well, though. So, if you're in my classes a lot, one thing you're going to notice is I caution you on not speaking fast. Because what happens when we tend to speak fast is a lot of things, okay? The first is people don't listen to us as well. Okay. It gives people a headache and they just start losing interest. Normally you want to speak at a nice, comfortable level, like I'm speaking now. You can use gentle pauses like that to help get people to listen to you more. That's how we normally want to speak in a situation like a class, in a meeting. But here what we're doing is we're trying to exercise our mouth. And what you're noticing is, while you can say this well, the faster you go, well, you're going to have trouble eventually. Now, the more you practice this and the faster you go, the better you'll be when you speak at a normal pace.
Okay, teacher.
Okay? All these are exercises for your mouth. So when I say go really, really fast, that's not how you normally want to speak. But again, you're doing exercises and it is fun. At least I think it is.
Okay, teacher.
Thank you. Hyde, which one would you like to do super fast?
Not super fast. The last one.
Yes, super fast.
A little fast.
Okay, which one?
The last one.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, that's. I don't know if anyone can do that one super fast.
something in the 38 thermal thicket of tones, and this is the time that threatened the 3D thought of measured attack, although theoretically it was only the 13,000th syllable, and the sun rose underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old attack thought that of that morning.
Yeah, it's a little tough. Another thing to do, I don't know if you guys practice this when you're reading, but it's very helpful, especially if you're speaking in front of others or if you've got a lot of material to read. Never look at the words you're reading. And most of us will automatically start to do this as we get older. You look at groups of words at a time. So, for example, in something in a 30-acre thermal thicket, the last one there, when I'm looking at this, I see the word something, and as I'm finishing up saying that, my eyes are already scanning ahead 2 or 3 words to 30-acre. When I say 30-acre, I'm already looking at thicket of thorns. Okay? As you're speaking, look ahead. And where that really helps you is, so for example, as I get to thicket of thorns, I can see there's a comma. So I know that I can add a slight pause as my eyes automatically go to the next line, so I don't miss a beat. Now this is tough when you're going fast, but when you're reading at a normal speed, this can really help you with your presentation skills. All right, Francis, which one would you like to do really fast?
Oh, very fast. I don't know what. I try to say the third part. Something like 30-acre thermal thicket of corn and quickly thump and thunder threatening the 3G. South matter the south, although shattered is once only the 13,050 and thus through the underneath of his thigh that the 50-year also thought of the morning.
Excellent. Just keep working on thug. It's like Doug, thug.
Thug.
Okay. Doug.
Thug.
It's just like Doug, Ugg,
Doug.
thug.
Thug. Thug.
Hey, well done. Daniel, which one do you want to say super, super fast?
Something. Something 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D. Thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000th thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning.
Excellent, well done. Camilla, which one would you like to do?
I want to do the second one again.
All right, go ahead, please. As fast as you can.
Yeah. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Well done. I know you can go even faster. Go ahead, one more time.
Again? Okay.
Yeah.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could... wait a second. I'm going to repeat it again. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Excellent. Now, I've got another one here that I'm pasting in Google Drive. Feel free to copy any of these down, guys, and practice them. I'll read it for you so you get to hear it. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are surely seashells. So if she sells shells on the seashore, I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Now, I'm going to put myself on mute here, and I just want you to watch my lips and see how they move. Now, without hearing me, what did it look like was going on there?
She and shells.
Yeah. Right? A lot of movement. I'm going from right here and in between. That's a lot of work. Okay? All of these tongue twisters, the reason why they're so difficult, and the reason why we always have our children learn these when they're young, is it really helps them speaking the language sooner and better. But it focuses on a narrow range of sounds, which is why I do what I do in the class. I try to focus on word pairs. I'm looking for areas where you guys are having trouble. And then I pick a tongue twister that supports that. Now, if I don't find any trouble, then I'll pick a tongue twister that has nothing to do with the word pairs. Either way, you'll come out of the class having exercised and practiced a lot. Something else I also recommend. When I'm having Ruth, Hyder, and other students speak, you should be on mute, practicing at the same time. You'll get to the end of the class and your mouth will feel like it needs a break, and that's good. Pronunciation is really helpful for all you guys. You're advanced students, you know a lot of vocabulary, and pronunciation is just one of those things that helps fine-tune your accent, so you sound more like a native speaker. You've all done very, very well here tonight. Do you guys have any questions regarding what we've done today?
I have a question.
Sure.
Teacher, I am interested in learning the symbols we use to pronounce the sounds, because sometimes I use my dictionary and I want to know which sound those symbols represent. So
With the International Phonetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do those too often because when I do teach it, it has to be at the advanced level, and I really don't get any students. So what I tend to do is I tend to focus on intermediate to advanced, and I just go through word pairs, I'll do tongue twisters, and I'll do reading. And what I often do, because very few students ask for this, I'll focus on sounds in your own language that you know how to say, and then I use what I call pseudo sounds. So for example, thermal, I'll say thermal. Now that's not what it'll look like in a dictionary using the International Phonetics. What I'm trying to do is break it down, because a lot of people, when they read the phonetics, the international ones, it confuses some people because they're not used to the exact sounds. I might try in the fall or winter to do some more advanced classes on the international phonetics, but I just don't get a lot of demand for it. And if I only get 1 or 2 students, then it's not good because I don't get a high enough rating, and I don't want to do that. So. But you know what? That might be a perfect class to do privately, Camilla. If you want to find a teacher and you can focus on that by yourself, that might be an excellent private lesson. Something else you can do too, if you go to dictionary.com, a lot of these words, it'll give you the International Phonetics, and then it'll say it for you so you can actually hear and understand. Right? Let me just, because I've got 2 minutes left, I want to give you guys a bit of an overview of what's going on tomorrow. I have 2 classes. The first one is a vocabulary class. It's describe what you see. Now, Daniel, this is a new one I've just started about a month ago. What's awesome about this class, you guys get to do all the talking. I'll show you a picture, and then I want you guys to use as many adjectives and adverbs as you can to give a rich definition. So, just like some of these tongue twisters, something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns. Wow, just imagine thinking of that. You're trying to figure out what it is. There's a lot of color there. 30,000 thistles, not just thistles, 30,000 thistles. And what this class does is helps you guys practice being more descriptive, using more colorful words. And that's my first class tomorrow. My second class, well, it's about geography. We're going to talk about Brazil. We're going to talk about the people, the culture, education, landmass, in terms of major rivers, mountains, climate, all sorts of things, all related to Brazil. That'll be my second class tomorrow. But guys, that brings us to the end of tonight's class. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been helpful to you. Everything I've typed in Google Drive will be available even after class if you want to copy it and practice it. Pronunciation class is something I like to offer at least once a week, along with academic English, and describe what you see, because most of my classes are all about getting you guys to speak. And I help you with pronunciation in academic English as well. So guys, thank you so much for coming, and have yourself